Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another edition of Lisa Renee TV. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and make sure to hit that subscribe button today before you leave. Hit the thumbs up if you do like what you see. And share on all your social media networks that you happen to be on at this time. Hello and welcome back. All right, guys, I am back. I'm back. So happy to be back in front of the camera as always. It's always a blessing to be in front of you guys. All right, so I know I've been gone. I've been on a little hiatus. Had to handle some family illness and family drama, some things. So I'm back. I'm back by the grace of God. I am back. All right, so let's get right into it. So over the past 3 to 4 days, you guys have heard in the media about the huge blowout with the Roseanne show. So Roseanne, of course, as you know, came back in March after a 20-year hiatus. Now, it became a huge hit. It was a huge hit then, and it was a huge hit now when it came back to ABC. So Roseanne basically went on a little bit of a Twitter rant there, and apparently may have lost a few marbles up top. So Valerie Jarrett was the senior advisor for Barack Obama during his presidency. So Roseanne figured she'd get on Twitter during the Memorial Day weekend, and she wanted to, put out how she felt about Valerie Jarrett and how Valerie Jarrett looks. Valerie Jarrett is African American, if you hadn't figured that out. So she gets on Twitter and she makes a very nasty remark. She says, if the Muslim Brotherhood and the Planet of the Apes had a baby equals Valerie Jarrett. So ABC abruptly canceled the show afterwards within hours of her posting the tweet. Excuse me, on Twitter. The tweet on Twitter, yes. So they canceled the show immediately. It was a media frenzy thereafter. Now, Roseanne went on to say that, oh, come on, guys, it wasn't racist, it was a joke. I was Ambien tweeting. She was referring to, the sleep aid Ambien. She takes Ambien. So, oh, it was Memorial Day weekend. So, of course, she, tried to put it on everything except self. So, blame it on the alcohol. Blame it on Ambien. I'm like, you blame it on the Ambien, girl? Is that what it is? That's what made you lose your mind on Twitter. So that's what she claims made her do that. She later came back and apologized after everything had blown up. So I do have her apology. Let's see, where is her apology here? I had her apology. I apologize to Valerie Jarrett and to all Americans, she wrote. I'm truly sorry for making a bad joke about her politics and her looks. I should have known better. Forgive me. My joke was in bad taste. So, it says Miss Barr also said she was leaving Twitter, but hours later she was back, retweeting statements of support and links to conservative websites. So, really, So basically, she lost her support. Wanda Sykes, who was a consulting producer for the show, quit. Sarah Gilbert, co-star, who plays her daughter, and Sarah Gilbert is also on The Talk. If you haven't seen the show The Talk, she quit as well. And she was pretty much the driving force behind this series, according to NewYorkTimes.com. She quit as well. Yep. The agency ICM dropped Miss Barr as a client, saying it was distressed by a disgraceful and unacceptable tweet. Even Bill O'Reilly, the former Fox anchor who has been supportive of the show, called her tweet vicious, said the series could not continue with the show without insulting millions of Americans. Wanda Sykes actually tweeted, I will not be returning to @Roseanne on ABC. So, oh goodness. So, asked on Air Force One if Mr. Trump had any reaction to the show's cancellation, because Donald Trump actually called her up and congratulated on her success of the show when it, pretty much blew up. So the White House press secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders demurred. I think we have a lot bigger things going on in the country right now, she said. So she was mute on that. Cat had her tongue. She didn't want to speak about that. So yeah, and I heard like a rumor that Donald Trump felt like much of the show's success was due to him because of the fact he makes everything about him. But he felt like because of the one episode, which is like I think the first episode, where her and Jackie were going back and forth because Jackie apparently voted for Jill Stein and she voted for Trump, and he had a falling out. If you all didn't see the episode, it's on Hulu. Trying to catch up with the episodes to see like what I'm talking about, but that was a big moment, a big episode because everybody in America, a lot of people, the reason why Trump got in was because they wanted something different and they wanted something new, and people didn't know what to do. They were so frazzled after, people claimed they were frazzled after the Obama presidency. For people who didn't support Obama or didn't know what was going on in the country at that time, they weren't sure. People just don't understand politics. They don't understand anything, in general of just what's going on in their environment, their immediate world, of just how things work, how the system works, how laws get passed, etc., etc., etc. And people were just frustrated because people were out. If you were in a situation of extreme distress, such as I just lost my job and I got 6 kids to feed, you'll do anything, such as voting someone crazy into the White House. You might vote somebody who's a lunatic, and you might do that, because you feel like you've been pushed to the brink. So when people feel like I'm on the edge of going insane myself, I might hey, devil don't look so bad, when you fall in. Well, really, it's about falling out of touch with God and falling out of touch with your faith, so then whatever the devil's offering to you don't look so bad. Sometimes when you fall down so hard and you lose your faith and you do get weary, yeah. So sometimes that happens. So you get this, like this current presidency is going on, and just the craziness, So it's like the Bible verse that don't get weary and well doing. So when you let the weariness get to you and overtake you, then the end result is not always pretty. So what I'm seeing, with her coming out with the tweets, the racist tweets, and just every other celebrity who has come out with something crazy and then they came back and tried to retract the next day, it's just everything I initially spoke of coming to pass. So people's true selves are coming to the light. People who once got away with so much pain and victimization of others will now receive their just dues. So for me, this is what I got from it. It goes in alignment with seed time and harvest. So if you plant a seed, whatever kind it is, whether it's bad, good, corrupt, or whatever, you're going to reap that sort of harvest. It's going to be a corrupt sort of fruit that is going to hang from your tree. So Roseanne, unfortunately, Ms. Barr, she barred herself because she sowed a nasty, racist, corrupt seed, and she got a nasty, corrupt fruit for her harvest, and now she's surprised at what she's looking at. She's so deer in headlights, don't you think? Like, she's really shocked that people are reacting to her this way, and the show, I mean, it did impeccable, coming back. It was a great show anyway, and for it to come back after 20 years and do this well, that's amazing. And I think it was a real blessing for a lot of the cast, especially for those of the cast who hadn't really worked in a while. So it's just crazy. Like, I mean, Sarah Gilbert was doing fine, but for ones that we hadn't really seen in a while, I mean, it just a matter of what they was doing for them, was personally. So the show had made over $45 million in advertising revenue, so it was about to make $60 million you know, it was going to come in around that amount. You know, it was just impeccable, you know. Yeah, it was, you know, the money that it was making, you know. So the show was doing great. I just feel like, you know, if it's not broke, don't try to fix it. Like, why in the world? Or how about this? If it's not broke, don't mess it up. You know, I'm like, it was doing really, really well. You know, they were all doing well. I was looking forward to season 2. And I'm like you make a dumb statement like that. I don't care what you were taking, Ambien, whether you drinking a beer. I mean, whatever. Whether you had one too many of whatever you were taking. You should know common sense in the climate, you know, this country that we're in now. You don't make statements like that. Racist statements, ageist statements, sexist statements are not allowed. I mean, any kind of tweets, you know, that you're making, these are not funny. And then the only people who think they're funny are the jackasses who make statements like that, or who support people who make statements like that. These are not funny. These kind of, you know, taunts and tweets and whatever you got are usually meant to hurt other people. So it's not really humor, you know? Like, it's not real funny. You know, it's funny because I'm making light of someone else. So in this case, she was making light of Valerie Jarrett. So she was doing like old school, you know, bullying, you know, like in high school, picking on a new kid or something like that. You know, she went gutter, and then she got, you know, like she got the wind knocked out of her when people reacted. They were like, no, you're not funny this time. I'm not really going to sit here and ha ha ha, that's just Roseanne. We're not going to do that. You don't get a pass. Nobody gets a pass for being an ass, basically, and even you. We don't care if it's Roseanne. Like, who cares? And it's another thing too when people feel privileged at a certain point in their lives because they feel like I've done so much work, I've made so much money, I've helped X, Y, and Z, so I can say and do what I want, you know. And I'm like, who says? Like, who told you that? So I think she got a real dose of reality right there. Like, look, sister, ain't nobody gonna be playing with you. And ABC snatched that show up out of her. They said, yoink, give me that. You know, they took that show back so fast. I think the woman who was partly responsible, I don't know if she was the executive producer of the show, but I think she was a black woman, so that was like poetic justice. I'm like, you know, why would you ever say something your boss is black? I'm like, that was the wrong thing to say, you know? So what I'm saying, and what I'm going to leave you with is just think before you act, think before you speak. Your words have power. Your words have more power than you think. You know, the power is a lot of power in the tongue. Oh yeah. I'm gonna drop some verses. I'm gonna drop a verse. It's in James. Oh, because I can't think of the verse. But I am gonna drop the verse for you all in the more info box below. But your tongue is very powerful, and it hurts more than somebody stabbing you or shooting you. Whatever you think that hurts. Somebody saying the wrong thing out their mouth, you can cut somebody. You can really hurt somebody and damage someone for life. So you do not say any and everything out your mouth that you're not supposed to be saying and thinking, you know, whatever. No, it's not whatever. It matters. People kill themselves over words, and you know, people get divorced over something somebody says. So please, people, I beg you, think before you speak. Think before you act, and think before you tweet. That's the biggest thing. Stop tweeting everything. Every idle thought that comes to mind is not of God. It's not a pure thought. Stop tweeting all this garbage. That's what you get when you let the devil make a fool out of you. You lost your girl. You lost $45 million letting the devil make a fool out of you. You say I was ambient tweeting. No, you were demonic tweeting. You were tweeting BS, and then now you lost everything. And you also not only lost. She not only hurt herself. She hurt everybody else that was working with her. They're pissed too. You know, you're like, damn, Roseanne. You know, come on. You know, you would think, maybe you better than that. You know, I mean, come on now. She knows better. She's been around too long. And she made a dumb mistake. And I'm like, come on, that goofy newcomer mistake, you know? But that's all I have for you all tonight. I just want to come in and talk about that because I know, I'm like, it lit up the airwaves. And I was like, I got to get up here and say my piece on it. And give you all some peace as well. Give you a piece of my mind and all that good stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share. all that kind of stuff. Drop me a comment below. And don't forget to have a blessed weekend. Have a great one, guys. Bye.